Hi everybody, my name is Becca. I'm part of Frenzy Farm Fitness. Just a mom at home trying to work out and stay a little more sane in a crazy world. And I've been putting out some workouts just to try and help other people that are going through some similar struggles and trying to kind of experiment with what I'm doing. Because it's fun and it's good for us, right? So this session I'm calling Sway and Stretch. It's a combination of static stretches and dynamic stretches, which just means moving or not moving, and also a lot of ability to change it up to make it work for yourself. So it's kind of dabbling in a bunch of different things. The goal is to feel better in our body and better in our mind and our hearts when we're done. It's going to be approximately 30 minutes. You just want comfortable clothes. If you can't sit on the floor, you could sit on a couch, you could sit on a bed, you could sit on a chair. Everything's really modifiable. If anything doesn't feel good, skip it or change it so it works for you, and just be safe and have a good time. The theme behind this sway and stretch is struggle and reward. So that's a concept we'll be coming back to, but the basic idea is we all have struggles. We all have challenges in our lives. Every single one of us. Some the same, some different, some big, some small. We've all got them. However, how we choose to approach them, how we choose to think about them, and how we look to the future for what our end goal is, our reward is, matters. So I've got some very clear struggles, great challenges, and great rewards coming. But it could be anything. It could be within your job. It could be within your family, your home, bigger goals that you have. So just take the time now, sit comfortably, whatever that means for you. In any position you want, you can have your legs crossed. You just want to make sure your sits bones can be firmly planted wherever you're sitting. And just take some breaths and think a little bit about the struggles in your life and what do you want from those struggles. And as you sit here, you can be still or you can move. You're welcome to close your eyes if you want, but you don't have to. And just take some big breaths. Trying to really open those lungs. Breathe down into your belly. And if it serves you today, try to focus on maybe one specific struggle in your life. And what positive thing can you get from this? What's the reward? There's always one, even if it's kind of hidden or unexpected or unusual. So try to keep that, whatever you're thinking of, in the back of your mind. But for now, just slide it to the side, and now it's time to do a body scan. Body scan just means kind of, as you breathe, as you move or be still, check in with your body and see, how are you feeling? Where's the tension holding? Where maybe do you have clenched muscles that you can try to just relax, but just take note, no judgment here, just noticing. Okay, I'm quite tight in my hips. Kind of between my shoulder blades and the back of my shoulders. I think you can hold a lot of feelings and stress in your body in many different ways. So we're just kind of acknowledging that right now. And being kind to ourselves as we recognize how we're feeling at the beginning. So if your eyes are closed, if you're ready, blink them to a soft focus. And we're just going to start by taking our chest and just kind of moving it around in circles. Again, you can be seated however you want here. The idea is try to create some length in your spine and also kind of experiment. How is my back feeling right now? If it's not feeling so great, really tight, maybe creaky, you might want to go really small and slow. But if that little bit of movement, you're like, ooh, that feels good, let's invite some more. I'm going to back up a little bit. Feel free to place your hands wherever suits you and just see how it feels. If the circles don't feel good, maybe you could gently round and then extend your spine straight. As you do this, check in with your shoulders, try to relax them away from the neck. And if you're doing circles with me, make sure you pause and go the other way too. The depth is really up to you here. If your body is enjoying this stretch, then you can really bring it down and deep. I got a belly in the way, I'm not going too far. Oxygen and breath makes a really big difference in giving your muscles, your joints, your ligaments, all that connective tissue what it needs in the process of relaxing. So keep breathing. And if you're moving a lot with me, come back to the center and just kind of wiggle it out. You might walk your sits bones. Might need to readjust your legs. Oh. All right, we're gonna do a seated cat and cow. I'm gonna show you sideways. This is gonna be really gentle. We're gonna focus mostly on the upper back here. So you're going to inhale and lift your chest and just try to bring your heart up a little bit. And you're gonna lift your chin just slightly. Inhale and exhale as you round mostly the upper back and round the shoulders. And now try this in your own time. Just keep on breathing. It's not about perfection. It's just about trying to flow through and release a little tension. So many ways to modify this. So you could add arms and squeeze your elbows back and then reach forward. You could open up from a hug and then wrap it up. But just keep breathing and experiment what feels good. How big is up to you as well. If it feels good to go a little deeper every time, go a little deeper. Rounding the shoulder blades forward. Shoulders are away from the neck. Lifting the heart. And when you're ready, come just to seated with a relatively straight spine. Let's take our hands in front of us. They can be in the air if you're sitting on the edge of a chair or something like that, or it can be touching the ground. Big inhale, and you're gonna exhale, and you're gonna hinge forward just a little bit so your spine's straight, but you're leaning forward. And I'm just gonna walk my hands out to the side as far as feels good till I feel kind of a stretch, maybe in the low back of that shoulder, side of your body. I'm trying to hold this one, but not clench into it. So if you're going so far that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just like freezing up and everything's tight, breathe into it. And guess what? If being still in the stretch doesn't feel good, this is your game. This is your show. So maybe you could come out and into it with breath. Try a little bit of both. Just a few more breaths here, you decide. Opening up that side, trying to keep my sits bones from popping up though, because we want to keep the stretch in the side. When you're ready, you'll come back to the center. Same little experiment on the other side. See how you feel. So inhale, nice long spine, hinging forward just a little bit, and we're just doing a gentle twist here. You may not get very far, that's fine. You can choose to just breathe and hold. Maybe with each exhale, it feels good to extend farther. Maybe you just need to keep it gentle. Maybe you want to flow in and out of it. So whatever you want to experiment with. Trying to open up the side of your body. Again, down maybe the side of the shoulder, armpit area, down in there. A couple more breaths. And when you're ready, you're going to come back to the center, and now we're just going to combine a couple things we've done. So we've done the chest around. So let's see if we can go back there. So you're circulating, check in with your spine, your low back, your tailbone, your sacrum. Oh, see how it feels. I got a lot of tightness around my tailbone. And then if you'd like, you can add some arms. Only if it serves you and helps you and makes you feel good. So this is kind of an experimental flow. You can really extend far, or if just like a gentle little round, whatever's gonna work for you. Make sure you try both directions if you're with me, okay? And remember, if the flowing doesn't feel good and stillness is best for you right now, be still. And when you're ready, come back to the center and just wiggle it out. See how your back feels, see how your spine is. When you're ready, some shoulder rolls. Trying to hit every single curve. Doesn't mean it has to be big circles you're making, it could be tiny ones, but you're trying to get front, curving up to the top, back and around. We're really dropping our collarbones. And let's just drop those shoulders down and back so we've got really good posture. King and queen posture, so proud heart. We're nice and tall. Let's experiment with our neck now. So you're gonna tuck your chin and lift the back of your skull and then come back to center and flow through this. When in doubt, just keep breathing. Or you can exhale down, inhale up. And the next time that you're down, you're gonna keep your nose tilted down a little bit. Make sure there's a nice amount of space on the back of your neck. Got about a fist distance between your chin and your chest. And let's just draw a smile with our nose. And we're gonna pause at one corner of that smile. I'm gonna draw little circles with our nose. And again, just experiment. Basically, your nose is drawing some sort of crazy doodle, but the goal is to make your neck feel good. So you can even reach that arm down in a way if it feels nice. Doesn't need to be super deep. You need some space between your ear and the shoulder. You could even try tipping your nose up, maybe chin up, reaching. So breathe through some different spots very gently. Nothing should feel grinding or too much. Keep it small. And when you're ready, very gently bring that nose back to the center. See how the opposite side feels. Got a little length in your neck, hopefully, top of the shoulder maybe. And we're gonna tuck that chin again. And we're back to that smiley face drawing with our nose. Breathing. You're gonna pause that nose on the opposite side that you did before. And from here we experiment, right? So we are just doing circles, maybe drawing a line up and down. Could adjust your chin up and down. Just trying to get a little mobility, relaxation. I don't know if any of y'all hold a lot of tension in your neck, but there are days where my neck and shoulders, it's where it is. When you're ready, come back to the center. Take your time. And just kind of wiggle it out. All right, we're gonna do one more seated thing, little side twist. So this is for your trunk. We don't wanna force ourselves into it. You can take the opposite arm and place it on the opposite thigh or leg or on the ground or not use your arm at all. But we're gonna inhale, nice tall spine, our shoulders are down and back. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna just gently twist. You may not move very much. I'm not moving much at all really, but you wanna feel a little bit of twist through your middle. You can look to the side. If it feels good to look back over your shoulder, you can. Or if that bothers your neck, you can just kind of gaze forward, down. I'm reaching back with this opposite arm if it feels nice. One more breath. And then we're going to gently release and we're breathing back to the center and get ready on the other side. So reaching across, inhale, exhale. Gentle twist. Notice if there's a difference. Maybe one side is tighter than the other. Shoulders are low. Trying to keep that spine long. Notice if you're clenching. I just noticed I'm clenching right through my glutes. Relax those clenched muscles. Adjust as you need to. And when you're ready, breathe it back to the center. So we're gonna try it one more time as a flow. So basically you're just moving side to side. It could be exhaling, twist, inhale, center, exhale, twist. If it feels good to bring those arms and kind of sweep them. Experimentation time. This is not about looking a certain way. You don't need to look cool. It needs to feel good. So maybe if it helps, close your eyes. One more on each side. And when you're ready and you're back in the middle, just feel it out. A little wiggle out, see how everything feels. Hopefully you've got a little more openness. So we're gonna take it to our hands and our knees now. Again, you can do this on a bed, on a couch, just make sure you're careful and don't fall off, or on something nice and squishy on the floor, okay? So, all fours. Get my notes here. So you can have your hands underneath your shoulders. You can do knuckles if that feels better for your wrists. I'm gonna actively kind of create some energy shooting down those arms, so they're trying not to be relaxed, but you know, strong and powerful. You're trying to scoop your belly button up and in and have your knees underneath your hips. And for now, just do a little tail wag and see how everything feels. My hips and my tailbone area, that's my biggest trouble spot right now. A lot of pressure going on there, so I'm feeling it. If it feels good, you can take from side to side. You can do little circles. So your hips and butt go back and around, and you're circling small or big. Or just keep with that sway. If you're circling, make sure you go the other way too. Awesome. We're gonna take it to kind of a modified child's pose. So for me, I need room for the belly. So I'm gonna bring my knees wider. You bring them as wide as you need to. You're gonna bring your hands back. You can put a pillow or something to sit under your bum if your hips can't reach. And you're just gonna extend down. Trying to get your head to relax. So it can be on a mat. It can be on a fist or two fists. So find what works for you and breathe. Trying to reach your tailbone in one direction and your head in the other. And if it feels good from here, you can hang out right here a nice long time. If you want, you can walk those fingers over to one side and feel some openness down the side of your arm and the side of your body. Breathe. We'll walk those fingers the other way. A little spider walk. If it bothers those shoulders, you can rest your arms just by your side. And we'll bring them back to the center. A couple more breaths right here, trying to relax those arms. And when you're ready, you're going to carefully put one hand under one shoulder, the other hand on the others, activate those legs, and push back up to all fours, and just readjust. Wiggle it out, see how it feels. Let's try scooping our belly up and in, and rounding the spine. And if it feels good, you can kind of just gently adjust and experiment with flowing around up there. And we're going to go back to a neutral spine. Now, if you want to take it to cow, I'm going to stay pretty neutral spine here for my own spine's health and happiness. But you can drop your belly and flip up your tailbone and lift your chest as much as you'd like to get a gentle little back arch. Only do it if it feels good. If it feels good to do a very gentle wiggle, you can do a gentle wiggle here. And then you're going to scoop that belly button back in and come back to a neutral spine. All right, we're going to do something for our calves now. Make sure you have a little room to extend one leg behind you. So you're going to keep one knee down, other leg is going to go back. Move forward just a hair, so I got some mat space. And I'm going to try and push that heel down. And if it helps, I can actually bring these arms further out, doing a calf stretch. Now you can hold this if it feels delicious and nice for you, or you can kind of flow. Your ankle might snap, crackle, pop, just like mine did. See if you can get a little more length. It's shocking to me how much tension is in my calves that I don't notice until I try something like this. Couple more breaths. All right, so we're going to relax that press back with the heel. I'm going to bring my hands back under my shoulders. And now the knee that's down, I'm going to rotate it. So now my knee is pointed towards the camera and the side of this foot is now resting. I've got one hand right under my shoulder. And I'm turning my hips, my body to face straight in front of me towards the camera. If it feels good, you can take that arm and reach up and over. And come back down. Might feel nice to reach up. I know you can't see my arm, but up this way. Might feel nice to hug yourself and come back out. So just experiment. What do you want to do with that arm? It might be nothing. Remember that this can be knuckles as well, or down on your elbow. But just trying to create some openness. Hips and shoulders stay facing forward for you. Nice side stretch too. One more breath, wherever suits you today. And we're gonna return back. So that arm comes down and carefully gonna rotate that leg back and bring the leg in. Before we go to the other side, so the leg that was just straight, we're actually gonna use it for a massage purpose right now. So I'm gonna change my angle. Let me see, which way we go? Here we go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to cross my ankle right up behind my knee. Angles, 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 angles. There we go. So, sorry, I didn't think out the angles too well on this one. So I've got this little piggy in the foot behind, kind of like in the, so the armpit, the knee pit right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sitting back and I'm gonna start feeling some pressure. Now, it's like a deep tissue massage, so if it's too intense, kind of bring more weight up this way, but I'm trying to massage my calf on the opposite side, and boy, we don't want it to be super painful, but it should feel like work. So it's up to you how much pressure you put on there. This one doesn't feel good for you, doesn't serve you, go somewhere else. Go to a stretch you liked before or anything else. But see if you can gently bring that ankle down your calf a little bit at a time. You're gonna massage down the calf and whoo, there she is. We're breathing. Remember how we talked about with great struggle, there's great reward? Your calves are gonna love this later on. So here's the struggle, we breathe through it. We say, it's gonna feel so nice. We'll do some work, get our reward. Go down as far down that calf as you wanna go. Oh goodness. And then we're going to carefully, yay, walk it back up. Uncross. Just wiggle it out. You can roll your ankles or shake it out. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna rotate around to the other side because we're gonna go through the same series on the opposite side here. So, the leg you just massaged, that's gonna be your straight leg now. So I'm gonna bring that back. Now we're gonna stretch the calf. It might even feel a little nicer now that you massaged it, or a little bit different. If you need to, you can bring your hands out further and give a little press. You can go in and out of it if it feels good. Stretching and coming up. Ugh, I just love this one. Just experimenting, a few more breaths. Do a little body scan. Do you have a lot of tension in your shoulders? Can you try to let them relax a little bit even though they're working for you? How's everyone doing? You're doing a great job, guys. We're getting close to the end here. When you're ready, you're going to bring that heel back up. Excellent. We're going to do our little side pose now. So the knee that's down, we're going to rotate it so the foot is back and behind us, and that extended foot's now the side. You're going to stack your hips. You're going to find under the shoulder. And this might be creating enough length for you, but this is where you want to stay. Or if you want to do some arm experimentation, you can reach it. You can extend. You can hug and open. Do what feels good for you. Remember, you can adjust the arm that's underneath you if it's too much pressure. You can go to knuckles. Be gentle, be kind with your body. If it's too intense, you want to do it less, be more gentle, or just pause and modify as you need. Just a couple more breaths. Oh, goodness. Check in with your neck, make sure there's some length there. Ooh, all right. So we're going to gently come out of this. So you're going to rotate slowly, bring that foot back around. So the arm that is extended, that's going to be the tool for our massage for our other calf now. Oh boy, maybe you're hoping I would miss this. So you're going to take that and you're going to put it in your knee pit and adjust and wiggle as you need to. I find I have to kind of adjust where my hips are and everything is. I'm going to change my angle so my hips aren't in your face. You're going to sit back. Ooh, yeah. Until you feel it. And again, you might need some tools or some props, maybe something like a pillow under your cheek. But just kind of readjust. You might even feel like you're using your ankle bone for this massage. Deep tissue, getting right into the connective tissue. Ooh, and we're breathing. And you decide if you want to go a little deeper and slide it down your calf a little at a time. You can make it less or more very easily. This is similar to foam rolling, which I highly recommend if you've never done getting a foam roller and learning about it. It's so good for your mobility and your aches and pains. A couple more breaths as we slide down. I'm just talking more to distract myself. Keep breathing. Oh goodness, last breath. All right, be careful, you're gonna come out of it and have a seat. I can hear my dog trying to get into the room. All right, so we're gonna sit now, if you're comfortable with it, with your butt and sits bones on the ground or bed or wherever you are, and your feet nice and wide. I gotta make space for the belly. You can go a little closer if it feels good. I'm gonna use either my knuckles or my hands behind me and lean back just a hair. So I'm supporting here, supporting myself, and I'm just gonna alternate kind of wiggling my knees. Now your hips, if they're feeling really tight or really unhappy with this, go very small, or maybe you're not rotating at all. Some of you might be like, ooh, this is great. You can maybe bring your heels up closer to your butt. Just experiment. You want this to feel good. Another delicious kind of flow and movement and stretch. If there's any sharp pains, that's no good, and we don't want to go there. Ooh, some of us might be able to get one knee almost all the way down or touching, only if it feels good. If you feel like you're just pretzeling yourself or anything sharp, don't go too far. But experiment now. Just for a couple more breaths. Nice way to remind your hips that they can move sometimes. Yes, very good, very good. All right, and make sure your core is tight as you assist yourself back up. And you're coming to a comfortable seated position. Now we're gonna do a forward fold here. Couple different options. I'm actually gonna change my angle again. You can stay kind of crisscross applesauce, but with your ankles resting down. If you want to get more of like a modified pigeon stretch or like more into the hips, you can take one leg and keep it in the front and the other leg can come down and back and away. But we're going to inhale, going to lift our heart, we're going to exhale, we're just going to walk forward and fold as far as you're comfortable. You're going to feel it more in the hip if you are in this kind of leg position. Just breathe through it as I just show the other. Big breaths. If your hips say no thank you, you can just do a gentle forward fold here. Trying to relax the spine, relax the neck, keeping the sits bones on the ground. So deep breaths. Great time to experiment with either breathing and being still or flowing through this. So if it feels good to come up, inhale and exhale down. It might feel nice to try some little circles, or your body may be like, no thanks, I'm just gonna breathe in one spot, and that's good. One more big breath, and you're going to use your hands and a tight core, belly button scooped up and in to stack the vertebrae back up from wherever you are. I'm going to do it one more time. If you are in the split leg position, you're going to switch to the other side. There's a bunch of cool ways to do it. I'm just going to do it the simple way. Assist. Pull it around gently. Trying to find my sits bones again. Big inhale, everyone. Exhale, reach as far as it feels good. You can hold it, you can flow it. It's not about looking a certain way. Taking care of your mobility and your health and your fitness and your flexibility really is not and should not be about perfection or comparing. It's about, how do I feel before? How do I feel after? You want to feel the reward, right? A couple more breaths. Feel free to flow, play, experiment, just be safe. And when you're ready, use a nice tight core and your hands to assist as you stack the spine up again. Find a comfortable seated position and the last little wiggle. So just notice how you're feeling. What's the difference from before you started to right now? And hopefully there's a little more openness. So in a traditional yoga class, it's often finished with some sort of meditation, total relaxation pose, eyes closed. A little bit different here. So sharing time for me, I used to, well, I can't say that I used to, sometimes still do struggle, but I'm realizing one of my struggles in exercise used to be to do things just right. Using it to escape from my problems only and to make myself feel good, but not as a way to not actually tackle the bigger things going on in my life. So my self-challenge, and I'm in the midst of this and I am no master, but is to now taking care of my body, exercising and stretching and moving, and using it as a tool to help me feel empowered to tackle those bigger things. So as you kind of sit here and breathe, just remind yourself of what the struggle was or the challenge was you were thinking of near the beginning. Make it as clear as you can, and it may take time to get there, but now I just want you to imagine the future and you're at the reward. You've tackled this problem, and what is your reward? Maybe it's taken a great deal of time, effort. Maybe it just is something that needs your attention that you just didn't quite realize. But in the success and in that reward, just imagine how that feels. Breathe through it. Just kind of bask in the glow of it as you have your eyes closed or open. You can go to any stretch or any movement that serves you and feels good right now as you're basking in that reward. Because you 100% can get there. When you're ready, you will blink your eyes open if they closed. And just some last little shoulder rolls to finish. So hopefully your body feels better now than when you started. I never find that I get to every single thing I have planned because some stuff just feels so nice to hang out in. So if you have any specific areas you want to focus on for these sway and stretch sessions, I plan on doing more and experimenting more. So thanks for taking the time. Be kind to yourself. Be proud of yourself for taking the time for you. It's hard to address any of those struggles if you don't take a little time for your self-care, right? So thank you so much, and I will see you next time, and have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.